The Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led government has maintained pragmatic and proactive solution-driven system of governance to optimize performance. Judging from recent activities from the office of Mr. Governor, let's share them with you on the City of Lagos TV show. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside some key cabinet members, contractors, and the media, conducted what the governor called drainage and regeneration tour of Lagos Island, as well as ongoing projects at the Ilubiri project, which has been on for the past 3 years. The governor, to his greatest shock and disappointment, observed and experienced the deplorable and dilapidated state of the roads, markets, and drainage system within and around Idumagbo Avenue and adjoining streets. Governor Sanwo-Olu was definite and determined to bring about a drastic developmental change in the areas visited.
As you have noticed, this journey started from the junction of Idumagbo Avenue, which we've all seen has been a corridor that was once well built, but over the years it has failed. Not the road in itself, but the drainage because of all of the behaviors of the market around Idumagbo Avenue. And you can see, whilst we're walking, we'll notice at some places the drainage were there. At some places, they've built over the drainages, right? And of course, there are places where you can still see the interlocking of the road, and there are places where obviously the road have also failed. So we made, towards Ojokiwa, the entire stretch, where a lot of the markets have built on drainages. You could see that there's proper road on it. Like I said, though part of the road had failed, right? But essentially, the drainage are the problem. All right down the two public schools that we saw on our right, which was a social media hype at some point during the rainy season, which you could see the reason why that place was flooded. Of course, the entire Jankara market, you could see all of the terrain there. And we went right down to Oroyin, where we all had, a water swim, because that part was actually the lowest part, in the entire area. There were roads there, but the drainage, indeed, has sunk, and we need to do a total rebuild. And so what this has offered us is to see firsthand what the issues are, what the problem is, and to be able to prefer, and look for a lasting solution to all of it. Leaving there, we went to also Bombata Market, where, we saw that it cannot continue to remain at the state that it is. We also went to Pelewura Market, which we all saw that indeed it has outgrown, outlived, the market in a modern city, like our state. And information and communication will be made, appropriately. Leaving all of that is to finally come here at the Ilubiri pumping station. And so I will start with the solution from Ilubiri pumping station. Where we are now, we've been on this project for almost 2 years now. And it's because of the depth of work that has to be done. We have to change completely the drainage channel. There, what you saw was just a manual, a pumping that goes direct into the lagoon. But on my left, we had built a proper drainage infrastructure, 6 meters by 1.2 meters, and it goes all the way down to where they'll be discharging. What we saw behind us is that we're doing piling for us to be able to sunk the 3 pumping stations. We have all of them are here at the site. Generators are here, and they're going to build a crane because I'm told that each of those pumps is about 5 tons, so they're very, very heavy. And 3 of them will be installed at the construction site we have behind me. In terms of the road for here, I'm told it's about 80 to 85% because all the procurements have been done, all the equipment have been purchased. It's a civil work that needs to be completed now. There's a lot of piles. How many piles are we putting here? About 32 piles, are coming in, and the contractor has assured us that in 2.5 months they should be finishing, the drainage. So what will happen is that we'll be opening 2 major drainage channels. The one from Thomas, which is the one on the right, and there's a new one from Idumagbo. So both of them will flow into this drainage that you saw, that is looking like concrete. and it will take them, and with the pump, it will take them straight down to the lagoon. Each of those pumps will be automatically activated. Each one, once the water channel gets up to 4 meters, from what I'm told, pump 1 will kick off. Once it gets to 5.5, pump 2 will kick off. And if there's a need for pump 3, it will also, but we've never seen. So we've built capacity and we've also built redundancy, as the final solution for the drainage evacuation from Lagos Island. That is for this location. So we will continue to do the work, and I'm sure that by December or January, we'll come back here. This project here will be completed.
Moving on to other activities from the Office of Mr. Governor. It was indeed an opportunity for both the Danish ambassador to Nigeria and the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to look at and equally agree at possible areas of collaboration and partnership that will be of mutual benefit to business firms from Denmark operating in Lagos and Nigeria, and for the developmental growth of Lagos State and the country. The Danish ambassador and the governor of Lagos State identified and highlighted the strategic areas of partnership during a courtesy call by the Danish ambassador to Governor Sanwo-Olu.
Of particular interest to us here is that, and that's perhaps a bit more forward-looking, is that Denmark is globally known as a green frontrunner. We have successfully made a green transition in Denmark of our economy, which means that we are likely to achieve net zero in 2045, and that is largely due to the expertise and know-how of some of the Danish companies involved in, for example, renewable energy and in circular economy, and waste and water management as well. And at the same time, we also, Denmark is also one of the most digital economies in the world. So I think if we look a little bit ahead, I think there's a lot of potential here to expand the collaboration between Lagos State and Denmark within some of these areas where we, as Denmark, have some experience, some know-how, and some private companies that we can put into this equation. So I would be very interested to hear about how you see the priorities of your administration in terms of green transition, in terms of smart city solutions, and also how you see the challenge of dealing with the challenge of climate change. When I tell people about Lagos, that it's a mega city and it's built on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, and it's developing rapidly. It always comes up the issue of climate change. How will Lagos State handle the changes that we are likely to experience in the local climate? And I think that's so. Any reflections from you also, and that would help me to guide a bit my constituency here.
Right, you have to do well in Nigeria, and for you to do well in Nigeria, you have to do well in Lagos. So it's just a simple, chronology of how success also can be measured. So we don't know where those support will come from, but we're not asking for support out of pity. We're asking for support out of partnership, to ensure that we can build an ecosystem where it's a win-win situation. And we want to do it in a very sustainable, way. So yes, we're pushing on our smart city, deliverables. We're doing, some, smart city project. It hasn't got to a level in which we would say we're there yet. We're building, smart city capabilities and the government side and also the public side. We're using, high definition cameras. We're installing them to be able to reduce traffic management, to be able to reduce, security issues, and the rest of it. We're trying to enhance, government services and delivery using, e-governance and the rest of it. So it's a model that we're building. It's pretty expensive, and even for us as a state, because we're also the tech capital of Africa, where there's all of the tech startups and everything are here. So we also need to be able to create an environment and an ecosystem where it can be cheaper internet access, and the rest of it can be cheaper, can be faster for them. So whilst we have responsibility on the social economic side, we also have responsibility on the commercial, side, for the city, and we're ensuring that, as much as possible, we prepare, our climate change, strategy in a way and manner in which people can see the problem, and we have preferred solutions, for ourselves, that we can handhold people to work with us and be able to let us remedy, the problems that we've seen either today, or in the near future. And some of them are pretty much clear, it's in schools and in hospitals, and we're building, resilience, but we're also adapting, but we need a lot of the support that, we made a good case at the last, COP, conference in Sharm el-Sheikh last year. We're hoping that we can make good pitches as well, in Dubai later in the year. If there are Danish companies that are heavy funders of green, energy and a lot of green, financing support, and grants, my people will be willing to take some of those things forward and to show them the things that we've done, to show them the plan that we have, and to tell them how we can support ourselves and achieve, this net zero emission that we're all, talking behind. It's important that we all handle each other, and be able to drive at, a global, conversation where everybody, no one is left behind.
And still from the office of Mr. Governor, Mr. Governor also received the Dutch ambassador, Mr. Walter Plum, with his team on a courtesy visit to his office recently. For the Dutch ambassador and the governor, the subject focus was to sustain a mutually benefiting collaborative relationship between the Netherlands and Nigeria in general, and with Lagos in particular.
Why we are here. The Netherlands means business. And when I say business, of course we are very proud that the Netherlands is the #1 trading partner of Nigeria. And it means that the Netherlands is the first destination of Nigerian exports. And of course most of the exports, if not all of it, go through Lagos. So that's why we are here. But it's not only business. It is business and sustainability. And you can say sustainability in many different ways. I'm very glad your SDV advisor is here. It's about climate, it's about environment, it's about the circular economy, but it's basically about not only growing the economy, but at the same time leaving this place a better place for our children and for our grandchildren.
For us, we are helping to ensure that we have proper food security, in Lagos right now. We're helping to ensure that we can fairly determine the quality of what also comes into Lagos, and we can also fairly get, adequate data as into what are the needs, what exactly are the requirements of the city. Because from there, we're building 5 middle-level markets at different parts of the city where they can be transported, and before now getting to the last mile markets all around the neighborhood. So it's a full end-to-end, participation that we're doing. You've also talked about health. So in the health space, and you're right, we see ourselves as a leader in the public health advocacy. So what we've done, and we're the first that have done that in the country, a couple of months back, we tried to completely unbundle the challenges that we saw in public health space. So we have about 330 primary health facilities that were too centrally controlled, that were too centrally administered, and it lacked efficiency and it lacked direction. So what we've done, we've used our school model, and we've taken it to the primary health sector. So we've broken it down into districts, and we've put competent heads at permanent secretary level, at each of those districts.
Climate change, waste management, and a safe environment form the crux of mutual discussion between the governor of Lagos State and the MD of the Nigerian Bottling Company, Mr. Goran Sladic, during a courtesy call by the NBC chief to Mr. Governor. They both made a clear mutual commitment to address these fundamental areas for a safer Lagos.
In the last 10 years, Nigerian Bottling Company invested approximately $1.3 billion in Nigeria, mostly in development of our capacity, overall capabilities, and people education. And approximately 1/3 of that investment went into the Lagos state. Right. And we also do have our biggest plant in Africa, in Ikeja. Said that, we are obviously planning to continue investing. When I talk to my team and when we try to analyze where we can have a common points or common interest areas, we analyzed your team's agenda, or teams plus, teams pro agenda, and we found several areas that you and the team may find interesting. And if you allow me, I would like to share a few of our priorities that we found interesting for you and the team. So one of them is definitely in the area of our journey to the achieving net zero by 2040, which is our global commitment. And this goes in the two directions. One direction is behind reducing the CO2 emissions. I can also proudly share that we have invested in the last 3 years over the 6 million euros in capabilities to reduce our CO2 emissions in our plants. But equally important, we are constantly investing and accelerating in the collection of the waste, in the collection in relation to the plastic that we put in the market. In this area, together with FIBRA, but also independently, as a system, as a Coca-Cola system, we are working a lot to significantly accelerate our journey, because we do have our internal commitments to collect 100% of the waste we put in the market by 2030. So in the next several years, you will see a significant acceleration of our both investment efforts, education, and awareness building in accelerating our collection agenda. And we recognized a lot of areas in the health environment section of teams that actually we share in this sense.
For us, we've run a team's agenda in the last 4 years. The next 4 years, we wanted to put additional flavor to it, something that also speaks to the needs, the reality of where we found ourselves, and that's where, we're doing all of these things intentionally. And you've expressed your willingness, to also partner with us in some of those areas. It's glad to know that, we're all working in sync, both a special advisor on climate change, blue economy, and everything, and also the special advisor on the SGD speaks to your vision to see how you have reduced your CO2 emission, and by 2030, which is where everybody is striving to go, that you've set for yourself, some definitive, timelines to get waste, completely off. You can take off all of the waste, all of the plastics and the rest of it that you find in the system. It's really the way to go, and I want to commend you for that. The MD of Loma is here. This is one area that we know that we need to change. This is one area that we need to indeed be very intentional, and be very aggressive about. There's been a lot of conversion and a lot of conversation around, waste, to wealth, and waste to energy, and all of the opportunities that waste itself present. But be that as it may, as responsible corporate organization is also we also need to intentionally, put our money where our mouth is, and be able to, be a lead champion in that space. And it's no gainsaying that we all need to be very responsible, and preserve the environment and be able to preserve it, for future generations.
The Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and the Executive Board President, United Nations Development Program, both attested to the fact that Lagos and the UNDP are really partners in progress for the development of the state. They both spoke during a courtesy visit by the UNDP representative to the governor.
My assignment here in Lagos and in Nigeria is to better understand the UN's performance, to better understand Mohammed Yaya's work with you, and to see how much more we can do in New York to make this agency more relevant to your needs. Having said that, I've been here now for 2 days. It's not my first time in Lagos. And I am struck by the dynamism, which has increased even more since I was last here. I'm struck by, as a Kenyan, that Lagos alone has an economy 50% bigger than Kenya's. So you have here, if Lagos were a country, it would be a wealthy middle-income country. But at the same time, it is coexisting with other parts of Nigeria that are deeply underdeveloped. So I see in Lagos an inspiration and a way for the UN. If the UN understands Lagos and understands how to work with Lagos, the UN will be able to understand how to work with Africa.
The vision and the pillars setting up UNDP, we're fully aware of it. We fully understand what should be their intervention, what roles they should be playing. And it's clear with us, through my government in the last 4 years, how we can jointly develop, and work through a relationship that will turn really to a win-win situation, whilst keeping the UNDP mandate and fishing into our own economic agenda. And, at the end of the day, you look good, our people feel the benefit, and we can co-create, a more conducive and working relationship. And I dare say that in the last 3.5, 4 years, so maybe 3 years, because of COVID and all of that slowed us down, that indeed we have seen a real partner, and a genuine partnership from UNDP.
To give an assurance to the Lagos State Governor concerning the safety and security of Lagos State and its citizenry, informed the courtesy visit to Mr. Governor by the Chief of Army Staff and his team to the Governor recently. Lieutenant General Taufeed Lagbaja explained the efforts being put in place in this regard.
I'm in Lagos to perform some official functions relating to the Army. We have put together some exercises designed to further entrench the peace and stability that we are enjoying in Lagos and other activities related to the Nigerian Army. And as it is customary, I'm here to pay you a courtesy call and to tell you of the activities of the Nigerian Army lined up to be conducted in Lagos in subsequent weeks. The Nigerian Army has put together an exercise, nicknamed Exercise Clean Sweep. It is designed to remove unexploded ordinances at the site of the 2002 bomb explosion in the Ikeja cantonment. The idea is to make the place safe and to remove all those unexploded ordinances to be taken to a safe place at our range in Agilete in Ogun State to be demolished under a safe condition. We also have our end of the year exercise designed to usher in the last 3 months of the year, where we envisage that Nigerians will travel a lot and we need to provide a safe and secured passage for these Nigerians that are traveling home or coming into Lagos to enjoy the festive season. So we have put together 3 exercises: the exercise Golden Dawn, Enduring Peace, and Still Water, to be conducted. So I will be flagging off these exercises also tomorrow in Lagos. And that is why I'm in Lagos. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency for receiving me and members of my entourage at very short notice. I must also put on notice the tremendous support of the Lagos State government and the good people of Lagos to our formations and units domiciled in Lagos.
Mr. Governor, on his part, assured to give all the necessary support to the Nigerian Army.
We thank you. We thank you and your men for your dedication to the country at this very difficult time in different parts of the world, in different parts of the country, that you continue to uphold the Constitution, the integrity and the sovereignty of our country. So I want to, on behalf of the people and government of Lagos State, wish you all the very best, and will continue to ensure that we give you all of the required and needed support.
Well, that's the package from the Governor's Office segment on the City of Lagos TV show. We do assure you to bring you more engagements of Mr. Governor on the program. Thanks for watching.
Lagos.